Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thank you for hearing us today. My name is Barbara Fairchild. I live in Boise. I'm a third-generation Idahoan, or fifth-generation Idahoan, and I wanted to tell you a couple of stories about some friends of mine. Many years ago, I had a friend who had to move down to Twin Falls for a new job. He packed up all his furniture and personal belongings, drove down to Twin Falls, and had to live with his boss for a month. That's how long it took to find somebody who was willing to rent to him. I had another friend, a very dear friend, who I met in the workplace. He was very good at his job. He was always very professional. One day, a coworker approached me and said, "I'm going to tell the boss that your friend is gay." I begged him not to do that. He did anyway. I watched him walk into the office. After a little bit, he came walking back out, approached my friend, and said, "The boss wants to see you." My friend walked in, they shut the door. After a very short time, my friend walked back out with tears in his eyes. And I ran over to him and I said, "What happened?" And he says, "I just got fired." He was devastated. I was heartbroken for him. 1 week later, he committed suicide. The company I work for now, I've been with them for 30 years. All of the restrooms are unisex. And in 30 years, not one employee has complained about it. Not one. Let me tell you, I am heterosexual. I chose as an adult to be baptized. So I do have my religious streak in me. I am also a registered Republican. I heard the implied threats yesterday that if you pass House Bill 2 to the floor, you will be voted out of office. This is Idaho. All you need is an R behind your name. Please. That was a hollow threat.
Please, some of us here don't think comments like that are very funny.
I'm sorry. Okay, that said, I've heard people say that God doesn't make mistakes, people do. That may very well be true. But biology does make mistakes. Consider the two-headed goat, or the child born with no arms. And who isn't aware of conjoined twins? There's also the rare occurrence of infants born with both male and female genitalia. Unfortunately, the parents are faced with the decision at birth of determining surgically what sex that child will be. I was watching a show on, I can't remember what the program was, it was several years ago, and they covered this issue. They went and interviewed the parents of some of these children. There was one set of parents who decided their child would be male, a boy, and tried to raise him as such. At a very early age, I think it was like 5 years old, the child began objecting to her parents for forcing her to dress like a boy. She informed them that she was a girl and wanted to wear dresses. The parents were crushed, realizing they'd made the wrong decision. People who oppose House Bill 2 like to say that everyone is already protected under Idaho Human Rights Act. Let me remind them that blacks and women had to fight long and hard before they were granted equal status as U.S. citizens. Before that, discrimination against them was legal and rampant. Does it still occur? Yes. But it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. All Americans are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness unless they have been convicted of a crime. Homosexuality is not a crime. But under current law, it is legal to discriminate against gays. They have no legal recourse. Those who say their rights will be violated if House Bill 2 is passed need to understand two things. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom of action if that action causes harm to another person. Number two, freedom of religion does not entitle someone to forcefully impose their beliefs on others, especially when that violates their civil rights. Being LGBT is not a lifestyle choice. No one would choose to live a life that strips them of the opportunity to experience security and happiness. Opponents to House Bill 2 say that the Bible specifies that homosexuality is a sin. The Bible also endorses slavery and says that a woman who commits adultery shall be stoned to death. Shall we change all laws to strictly adhere to the Bible? We cannot allow religion to dictate the laws of this land. That is precisely the problem in the Middle East. I ask you to make a decision without bias, with cool heads, and to remember that you were elected to represent all Idahoans, not just those who express religious indignation. This is not a religious issue. This is a civil rights issue. I ask you to do the right thing and approve House Bill 2. Thank you.
Are there questions? Hearing none, thank you.